So I don't know how many of you guys actually think about the future, but when I think about the future, I always think about whether it's gonna be dark or a place like a utopia where everything's all fixed, or you can say like a good place to live in. Now, from what I've seen so far in the world, as far as I know, the future is not that bright coming to the fact that the way the society is run. And this idea pops up because recently, if you guys haven't heard, in America, in the United States of America, the NSA, which is the National Security Agency, or agent, whatever you want to call it, they're developing some kind of new technology such as camera, drones, all that stuff to watch over everything in the society and even crack into your phones, your computers, and your emails, all that stuff, all your personal stuff. And they can look wherever you want, they can listen to your call. And they've been denying this fact as, hey, we're not listening to your people's, random people's call, but we're just trying to find out who's a terrorist in America. Now, that is pretty difficult to think about because when you crack into someone's privacy, how do you know whether they're a terrorist or not? In order to confirm it, you gotta have to listen or look through the text, and it's kind of uncomfortable the way they actually crack into your stuff. But when I think about the future, I've seen lots of future movies. I don't remember their names, but I like those. I actually really enjoy those future videos or movies about people like a hero trying to take down the government. Whether they're trying to track this guy down and try to kill him because he has some kind of sort of weapon or information that they don't want the society or people to know. And I'm starting to think that's what the future is looking for us, because how fast can we kill ourselves? I mean, we're developing weapons that can kill the world in less than 1 hour. But when you think about the technology we have, President Obama and the military, they want to implement drones in the air. If you guys don't know what drones are, they're like little planes. But if you think about it, what if you can put a bunch of them in the air, you can watch over the sky at like 24/7, and they have the ability to kill someone within less than 1 minute. I mean, they can pick out a target and kill you and leave no record of you. And government is always watching you. Think of that future. That's kind of uncomfortable. I mean, cameras are everywhere. They develop new technology such as like face recognition, which is possible right now. I mean, the smartphones, they can recognize your face. I mean, no joke. They get in there, and I heard that the police have like some kind of camera on their car that can recognize license plates, that whether the car is stolen or not. But in the future, if they can actually recognize you, they know your movements at all times. Yeah, there's a positive side of that, and the positive side is that they can track down criminals and get them right on the spot. But don't you guys feel uncomfortable about the fact that the government is always watching you? They can access your information, they can access your phones. But not only does the idea of having the drones and everything to protect us from the bad, criminals, terrorists, if ever there was an attack, the drones will instantly counter-attack that. But what if, from my perspective, from nowadays, there's millions of hackers, but what if a hacker hacked into the drones, hacked into the camera, and all that stuff, and able to like control the drones all across the world and completely wipe us out? I mean, there's like lots of people out there. I'm pretty sure there's people out there in the world want to kill, and they have their own reasons. I don't know what the reasons want to kill innocent people, but they have the reasons. Or a hitman. If you were to hire a hitman, if he was smart enough, he can hack into a computer and then access the cameras and find the person they want to kill right away, and then they know exact location or the exact movement. It's kind of scary, and there's people out there who can do that. But hackers, I mean, if you actually put 1 million drones in the world, or like a bunch of drones in the sky 24/7, like those movies or games you've seen when you see robots are just floating around the roads, or just robots flying around checking people's identity, especially in Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 is a perfect example. If you guys actually read the book called 1984, I believe, by George Orwell, that book's actually amazing. If you want to try to read that book and give it a shot, it's a classic book. But the book is based on dictatorship and communism, and the idea behind it is the government is always watching you, and the most famous quote from that book is, Big Brother is always watching you, and you do not want to go against Big Brother. Now, Big Brother is actually a symbolism of what you call the government, and the government can do whatever you want. Now, people like guarantee the government will live to up to this date. I mean, if you live in a dictatorship government, they will always live forever. You always think of that. They try to brainwash that. Can democracy live up to that long? Can communism live up to that long? We people, to be on the optimistic side, we believe that we will always live in a free country in America. But there's always a small percentage or possibility that what if that's been overthrown. That's why we developed the Second Amendment, where everyone can bear arm and bear a weapon to overthrow a government that actually is being oppressive, or they actually not, leaving the throne like the king back then in the Revolutionary War. But there is a possibility someone can just overthrow democracy and somehow brainwash our generation or future generation, and saying that, hey, you're just some kind of slave to them. It's possible. They can wipe it out. Like, they can have the best weapon to just wipe out everyone. Well, who knows? Someone can develop some kind of technology to wipe out everyone's memory. And if they can do that, they can just basically program us, saying, hey, we must obey Big Brother or obey the government and listen to whatever they say, and there are the gods. I mean, people have their own, theology or theory about the aliens, the outsiders from us. They are considered gods, and we say in ancient times the Egyptians see a bunch of gods, Indians, all that stuff. They always believe in Mayans, gods. And then there's actually a History Channel. They always talk about, hey, these aliens treat these little people as if they were the gods, and they were like the people are the slaves. But it's kind of interesting. But how far can we get in the future, and how dark can it get? But so far, we are living in a dark times, because anyone can flip a switch on a nuclear bomb and turn this entire world into a wasteland. I mean, that's already dark enough. Before, if we didn't have that nuclear bomb, we'd be World War III, World War IV. I mean, world wars were constant in modern age. I mean, we see a bunch of world wars in the 1900s, especially in the 1900s, in the 1800s, 1700s, Spanish Armada, invasion, all that stuff. But in the future, when you can blow up the entire city within hours and kill millions of people, actually billions, we actually have enough weapons to kill more than what we have on Earth. I mean, you can't avoid it. That's why nobody wants to mess around with each other when you have a nuclear bomb, especially those superpower countries right now. But other than that, that's all my thoughts about the dark future. It's an interesting topic I always want to talk about. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little topic, and later.